Catherine Charlotte Bonaparte Benton, aka Caroline, the illegitimate daughter of Joseph Bonaparte. Joseph Bonaparte was Napoleon's older brother, his favorite brother. He was also once the King of Spain and the Two Sicilies. After Napoleon's fall, Joseph sought refuge in the United States. He lived in the U.S. for about 16 years. And while he was here, he met this beautiful Quaker girl named Annette Savage. Annette was working at her mother's shop in Philadelphia. She was just a shop girl and a Quaker. And Joseph had an affair with Annette, and he put her up on an estate, and he had 2 children by Annette. The one daughter died at about 4 years old when a flower pot hit her in the head. It wasn't uncommon for a French aristocrat to have a mistress that he kept and paid for. It was almost like having a garage full of Bentleys or BMWs. It was a sign of wealth and power. Not only could you support your illegitimate wife, you could support a second family. Caroline had 2 stepfathers. The first one was picked out by Joseph Bonaparte, and after he died, her mother remarried. Caroline received a decent education for a woman of the time, enough so that when she was an adult, she was able to be a French teacher and a music teacher. In 1839, Caroline married Mr. Benton. Mr. Benton was the son of a well-known local upstate New York physician, but Mr. Benton was more interested in Caroline's wealth and familial connections. They did have numerous children together, but it wasn't necessarily a happy marriage. Mr. Benton was constantly scheming and trying to come up with ways to increase their fortune, and lost everything in the meantime. Multiple sources say that in 1859, Caroline went to France to seek acceptance from the Bonapartes. And when she met her cousin, Napoleon III, he looked at her and was like, "Yes, you are my cousin. I accept you." Not only did he accept her, he gave her a pension. And he also made her daughter a lady-in-waiting to his empress, and her son was educated in France. Caroline and her children returned to the United States with her being accepted by the French. And being accepted by the French made her legitimate by French law. Unfortunately, when the Bonapartes fell from power, she lost her pension. And by this time, her husband had already spent her fortune. She decided to leave her husband, and she became a teacher in upstate New York, in places like Utica and Richfield Springs, New York. In her later years, she lived in Richfield Springs, New York, on James Street. Richfield Springs was a spa town and a great place for an elderly person to live. She died on Christmas Day of 1890. There was a terrible snowstorm, and not many could attend her funeral.